Today we're going to talk about closing because this is a problem that a lot of people have, and I've seen this problem firsthand whenever I onboard clients and we run ads and we generate leads. A lot of people think that leads are the problem when it's their closing that's the issue. A lot of people are simply not good at closing. So let me show you what my most successful clients that are currently doing 7 figures are doing, so you can take that and apply it to your business. And it really doesn't matter what kind of business you have. If you follow what I'm about to tell you, you will simply close more deals and make more money. So a big scenario that happens a lot of times is that I will get a client, they come in and they're like, you know what, I need more leads to scale my business. They think that them not having enough leads is not getting them to where they want to be in terms of the money that their business is making. So we get on a campaign, start running ads, leads coming in. Those guys are not closing. They're being put in front of people, but they can't close. What is the problem? Here's what happens. A lot of these businesses are used to getting business through referrals. And if you're getting business through referrals, that is a guaranteed sale. You just have to go there, don't mess it up. Guaranteed close. And so this really sets you up for failure because you expect new leads to come in to be like that, which is never the case. If you want to get into online marketing, i.e. run ads to generate leads for your business, it is a whole different ballgame. Referrals and ads are not the same. They're two very different things, so don't expect referrals to be similar to ads. So when we run ads, the leads that you're meeting with don't know you, have not gotten a good word from their family and friend or cousin or neighbor about you. They literally saw you online, and they might have seen 5 or 6 others besides you. Like sometimes we get homeowners that come in, and they have gotten 9 estimates. 9 estimates. So do you understand how good do you have to be to close out of 9 other contractors? Actually, the bar is not that high. Just following what I'll tell you, you'll just simply close more. So stick around. So this is what happens, is that these leads come in, we're running these ads, these contractors are going to them, and they show up, talk to the homeowner, try to do fake chatting with them to build what they call small talk, which does nothing, by the way. And then they look at the project, give them an estimate, and then after they had this nice conversation, the homeowner is like, let me think about it. Let me talk to my wife. And then they're like, okay, cool, I don't want to be this pushy guy. I don't want to push. And then they leave. And then what they basically did is they told the homeowner to treat them as the price sticker. This is literally what you will be judged on, the price sticker. Because more than likely, you might be the cheapest guy, but you might not be the guy that the homeowner goes with. It's totally normal. That happens all the time. And you basically gave them the price and left, and you did not deal with the objection that they didn't even tell you about. Sometimes the objection, guys, the prospect themselves doesn't even know that that's the objection in their mind. So we need to be able to have that conversation to really find that out. Anyhow, so let's say a lead comes in from an appointment, lead comes in, we go meet with them, and then we try to close them. There's this gap in between. So whenever you go to an appointment, here's what you need to do. You need to show up on the appointment to close that same day. This needs to be what is in your mind. You either, if you're a roofer or a concrete guy, you are going to show up with the number written. You either measure it over there or get a measurement before you go there. I don't care. You need to go there with a number, okay? A number or at least some sort of rough estimate of what the job is going to cost. Because at the appointment itself, you are going to need to sell, okay? So we talk with the homeowner, we get down to the details, and we're like, all right, ready to sign the contract. And they're going to tell you, let me think about it. Don't give them the price and leave. This is where the dance begins. This is where it actually starts getting serious. This is where the sale actually begins. Now your whole job, if you don't do anything besides this, you will close more jobs, is you're going to need to ask for the sale 3 times after going through objection. So for example, let's say we go to a homeowner and this homeowner is like, you know what, let me think about it. This is what you're going to need to do. This is the process that you will need to follow to get to the objections, and most of the time the objection is price. So this is what you're going to need to do. So we show up to the appointment, we're talking to the homeowner, we're like, here's the roof, here's the new concrete. Before you even mention anything about price, you need to ask them if this is a yes or no. Do they like what you have to offer? You need to focus on that first, before you get down with price. And you need to handle any objections about your product or service before you get to the price. Don't give them the price and then start talking about the product or service. Product or service comes first. That's step number 1. You don't talk about your pricing yet. You say, do you like it? If they say yes, we move to price. If they say no, handle objection before you move on. Handle objection before you move on to anything. Okay, so let's say you told them about the new roof, the new driveway, the new painting, whatever it is that you sell. They said, no, they don't like it. You figure out why they don't like it. After that, once you convince them, or if they say yes, now we move on to price. Because here's what's going to happen next. This is a sequence of events that you need to follow, because this is always the real objection. Price is always the biggest objection, and this is what you have to prioritize when you're selling. So okay, we got to price. They said they loved what you have. Now you give them the price. They either say yes, and then you close. If they say no, you're like, all right, hold on a minute. Mr. Homeowner, you told me you loved my product, my service. This is the right fit for you. This meets all your needs. So you said yes to the service or product. Is it mainly a price concern? Because now we have isolated that this is not the concern. This is the concern. Price. And they're like, they have no other option because they already gave out their card saying, oh, hey, I like your product, I like your service. So then you say, is it price? Is everything good? Like, would you do it money aside? Yes. Is it price? Is this the biggest problem? Then, once they admit to price, now you need to double down on the objection. Now the time comes to say, okay, well, if we could work on the price, would you be willing to move forward today? That's the only thing stopping you? They might say, hey, what can you do for me? No. They need to commit. They need to say yes. If we work on the price today, Mr. Homeowner, would you be willing to move forward? They're like, I don't know what I can do. Be like, I don't know if I can help you. I need you to commit before I work something on the table. Why would I put something on the table and I don't know if you would be willing to take it? So we would meet halfway. Is this your only problem? If we were able to work something out today, would you be willing to move forward? Then they're going to say yes. Okay? So you're going to move forward if we get the price. You need to double tie down on the objection. Okay, so if we figure this out, you'd be willing to move forward today within your budget. Yes. And then once they say that, now we're going to be like, well, how much did you have in mind for this project? Do you have? How much do you have? This is a very important question. Then you're going to see where they're at and where you are and see if you can bridge that gap or if you can throw some other things at cost to get them to sign in. However, you're not going to leave that estimate until you ask them 3 different times. And you should just keep looping and going back and forth, you know? Like sometimes they might hit you with, hey, I need to speak to my wife, which is always a fake objection. I need to speak to my partner. I need to speak to my wife. Be like, hey, well, if they said no, what would you do? They might tell you, hey, I'm not going to do it if they say no. Okay, Mr. Homeowner, well, what would they say no to? Oh, they probably say it's too expensive. Well, Mr. Homeowner, if we worked on the price, would you be willing to move forward today? If we can work out some deal for you. Oh, okay, yes, and then we move on. And this is not, I'm not saying that you're going to close all your leads. That's not what I'm saying by any means. But you will sit down there and have this difficult, uncomfortable conversation. This is supposed to be uncomfortable. This is not going to be easy. And a lot of you guys are scared to have difficult conversation. Sit down with them and be like, what's stopping you from moving forward today? Hey, you got a cheap estimate? Bring out the estimates. Let's look. Let's compare apples to apples. Don't settle for, I got a cheaper estimate. Have them bring the estimate out. Because you could be offering them more and they don't understand that. That needs to be explained to them. The guy that's giving them the service or product could be unlicensed. You could be a much better option. So you need to sit down with them and figure out, well, what are they giving them? It will give you insights on the market and it will literally allow you to compare apples to apples. But you have to go to the estimate and you have to try to close. None of this stuff that's, hey, I will text and follow up. Like a lot of you guys are trying to do objection handling over text, over the phone, and you're getting ghosted. Like why put yourself in that position in the first place? Oh, I'm texting my leads to follow up. Once you've tried to close 3 times, once you've tried it 3 times, you say, hey, sign the contract. They say no, sign the contract. Again, no, objection, and you're doing objection handling throughout these. And then you ask them to sign again. You ask 3 times, all right, you did all you can, and now don't feel bad about yourself following up through text or phone calls. But you need to go there. If it takes you 1 hour, if it takes you 2 hours, you need to do whatever it takes. Because more than likely, if they tell you, let me think about it, you're not going to hear from them. Someone will come in and underbid you, or is a better salesman, a lot better than you, and they will follow a recipe like this to close them. So with the leads, guys, you have to show up in person, meet with them, go through objection handling, and ask for the sale 3 times Don't be shy about it. This is supposed to get uncomfortable, both for you and for the homeowner, but you need to be honest, you need to be upfront, you need to pour your heart out, put your cards on the table. This is what I can do for you. Where can I meet you? How can I help you? You need to have these people's best in mind when you're dealing with them. So don't just start doing your text follow-ups, your phone follow-ups, thinking it's going to be like referrals. It's not. You actually need to be serious. You need to show up to try and close and do whatever it takes to close. Ask them, what can we do to move forward today? Is there anything I'm missing? Do you feel like you don't trust me? What is it? Get them to open up. Some of them might not, but at least you tried. But none of this, hey, I'll text you the estimate, or you go home and you send them the estimates, or none of that. Stop that. This is costing you money. You can do it with referrals, not with online marketing. You need to be a shark. You show up to close. End of the deal. If you found this valuable, hit that follow, hit that subscribe button so you can watch more of my videos.